All right, folks. So I just made a move here on Sui. This is obviously one of the big layer one blockchains that really took off this year. A lot of attention, a lot of hype behind it. If you guys have been in it for the last 1 or 2 years, there's been some very positive news on Sui over the last couple days. And not only that, we got the signal that we were looking for here. So you could see just based on the chart right now, it's a good time to buy based on the data, right? Everything we do here is based off of data and logic. And we can look at the data and see that every time this blue wave has come over here and printed a green dot on Sui, it's been a great time to buy. We called this thing out back in August of 2024 at 65 cents. Okay, it went all the way up to $5 for about an 800% move. It pulled back, gave you one right here in April. That went from 2 to 4. Right, got some sell signals in this area, and we've sold back off. So the important thing is right now, I believe it's a good time to be buying Sui. But the question I'm asking is, if I buy Sui, what am I going to do? Am I going to hold it, or am I going to stake it? And I'm going to show you how to stake it here, or at least how I'm going to be staking it. And I'm going to walk through the whole entire thing so you guys have an idea of how this works. So if you're familiar with decentralized finance, right, this is like your farming yield. So there's these things called liquidity pools. And again, there's a ton of videos on liquidity pools. The liquidity pool I want you guys, or I'm going to be talking about here today, is called thesis. So each blockchain, so there's Sui, there's AVAX, there's Base, there's Solana, there's Uniswap, so on and so forth, right? They're all these decentralized exchanges, and a lot of them provide liquidity pools. So thesis is the liquidity pool provider, or a liquidity pool provider. It's the most popular one on the Sui network. So for Sui, so a lot of you guys are familiar with Aerodome Finance. Aerodome Finance is a liquidity pool provider for the Base network. So each network has their own. I don't know why their website's not working. That's kind of weird. Aerodome Finance is the one for Base, right? It's thesis is the same thing for the Sui network as Aerodome is for the Base network. And then another one is Uniswap, right? You have Uniswap, right? You come over here to Uniswap. Uniswap is the one for Ethereum, right? You can see if you come over here to pools, you can view positions. I'm sorry, you go explore, go to pools, and you can see there's liquidity pools. So what people do is they provide their cryptocurrency, and what these liquidity pool providers do is they pay you an APY. So you could see if I brought my Ethereum and my warped Bitcoin over here and I staked it in this liquidity pool and just held it in this liquidity pool, they would pay me 25% APY. So the APY comes in handy when you're in a market that goes sideways or that is going down, because as it's going down, you're still earning that APY. So the important thing to understand here in this video is that I am going to stake the Sui I just bought today. I just bought this today at $1.67. I'm going to call that out over here. You guys are probably watching the video right now over here in Overkill Trades. I post everything, but I've never really gone into depth on how to do this. So the first thing I did was I had to come to my exchange, which I use Robinhood to buy Sui, and I had to buy Sui. Okay, that was the first step. Okay, so after I buy Sui, what I need to do is I need to send my Sui into a decentralized wallet. I use the Phantom app. Okay, the Phantom wallet is the one that I use. So in order to send Sui over to this app, I need to come over here and I need to copy my Sui address. So you can see that's right here, SUI. I'm just going to click on this here and I'm going to copy it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to send all of this Sui to my decentralized wallet, because you can't stake, right? You cannot stake something unless you have it in a decentralized wallet. This website does not hook up to my Robinhood account. So I need to go ahead and connect my a wallet, which you can do. I'm on cetus.zone here. And again, this is just Sui's liquidity pool provider. So what I can do is hit connect. I'm going to click my Phantom wallet, and you can see that the wallet is now connected. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to stake my Sui, and I'm going to pair it, because you need to pair it with something else. You need to pair it with another coin. So the coin that I'm interested in actually is cetus, is this liquidity provider's coin. They have a coin, and that's what you get paid in, right? So when I'm going to stake my Sui and my cetus over here, I am going to earn cetus, and they're going to pay me 17% APY. And you could just scroll through these liquidity pools and see, what other coins they have available and things like that. Based on my research of the Sui network, I think cetus is a great buy right now. We could see that just by going to the cetus chart here. the CETUS chart here, right? And you could see this thing's just been absolutely annihilated. It was all the way up here at 50 cents, and now it's all the way back down here at 3 cents. So my theory on this trade is that as SUI grows, as SUI starts to go up, what normally happens on the blockchains is that all of its ecosystem coins, like CETUS, right, are going to go up as well. And if this goes back to its high back here in 2024, you're talking 3 cents all the way up to 50 cents. That's a 1,600% move. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send this SUI. Okay, I'm just going to send. I normally like to test it just to make sure it goes through. So I'm going to send $5 worth of SUI to this address. Okay, I'm going to send $5 worth of SUI to this address just to test things out. Okay, you always want to make sure you're sending it to the right address. So I'm going to hit submit. And now I have to get on my phone here, actually. And then what I have to do here is confirm it on my phone. Okay, and then what that's going to do is that's going to send that $5 worth of SUI into my wallet. So let's see here. Let's watch that, make sure everything goes through correctly. I always do a test. I've done this hundreds and hundreds of times. I always test before I send crypto into a wallet. Okay, I never just, like, I'm not going to send $25,000 to the wrong address and be completely wrong. So let's just check here. It looks like it's taken a minute. So we'll just give that a second. You can see it's in transit. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be staking. And the reason I like CETUS as well is it's a $25 million market cap right now. That is a tiny, tiny crypto project. And it is the largest liquidity provider on the SUI network. So again, there's been a lot of hype. Everyone's been talking about SUI as it's the greatest new thing to come, right? Now I want to be looking at projects and what their ecosystem does. Why is it the greatest project? What's so good about it? Okay, what I think is good about it is that it's very well known, right? There's a lot of institutional investors coming into it. You can see over here, if we go to the crypto chat here, someone posted something today. Yeah, right here. Dutch trader Nico said the SEC has approved the first ever 2x leverage SUI ETF. So there's ETFs that are leveraged coming out of SUI. So that means institutional investors, people are coming into this asset, right? It's a very popular asset. And again, everybody wanted to buy SUI when it was all the way up here at $5. Now, no one's really talking about it down here at 65. And we called this signal out earlier in the week at around 130. It's now sitting at 160. So that's where I bought it. I bought it at around 160. So let's see if that SUI got into my wallet here. And it did. You can see it went from $1 up to $6. So now let's go ahead and send the rest of it really quick. So I'm going to send the rest of it to the same exact address. I'm going to do SUI. And I'm going to send everything that I have. So 14997. Come on. 14996. Yeah, let's just do that. I'll keep one SUI in my thing. I just always double check the last four of the wallet address. So FA7D, FA7D, that all looks good to me. OXB39, right? OXB391. Okay, we're good. So I just hit accept here, submit, and that's going to send the rest of the SUI into my decentralized wallet. I need the decentralized wallet in order to be able to connect to the decentralized exchanges, right? Robinhood is a centralized exchange. Coinbase is a centralized exchange, okay? CETUS is a decentralized exchange, okay? So again, think of CETUS as the Uniswap for Ethereum, or think of CETUS as the Aerodome of Base, which is Coinbase's blockchain. So each blockchain has their own liquidity providers. Again, CETUS is the #1 liquidity provider on SUI. Okay, and I'm bullish on SUI, so I want to invest into SUI. I want a piece of the pie. Okay, and then what I like to do as well when I'm looking at these pools, the way I like to sort them is by liquidity, because then you could see what are the most popular ones. You could see that HA SUI and SUI has $10 million locked up there, but you could see the APY is pretty much garbage. Okay, it's about 4.85%. SUI and USDC is 106%, so on and so forth. But again, I want exposure not only to SUI, but I also want exposure to Cetus, because again, Cetus right now is a $25 million market cap. I can't tell you guys how small that is. Okay, if it goes to a $250 million market cap, that's a 10x. Okay, if it goes to a $2 billion market cap, that is a 100x. So I want exposure to this and I want exposure to Cetus. So I'm going to buy both of them and I'm going to stake them inside of this liquidity pool. And I'll show you how to do it here. So again, I just sent all that SUI into my wallet. Let's see if it's in there. It looks like it had. Did it go through? Yep, it went through. So you can see all of that is now in my wallet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the liquidity pool that I want, and I want the Cetus and SUI. So what I'm going to do, and you can see the APY they're paying is 17.58%. And that's paid in Cetus. So just by staking this inside of this liquidity pool, I am going to earn Cetus every day. And so if I put in 25,000, which I'm putting in $25,000 into, right? So if I put in 25 grand, okay, and again, you could start with whatever amount you want to start with, and you multiply this by 0.17, which is similar to 17%, I'm going to make $4,250 every single year paid out to me in Cetus. And I can take this out at any time. I can take this out of the liquidity pool at any time. Okay, so I'm going to put it in, I'm going to earn the APY, and then when I'm ready to sell, and I'm going to be ready to sell when SUI comes back up here, right? The wave gets back up here, and Cetus, same thing. When Cetus's wave, right, gets back up here on the charts, when it gets up to this area, that's when I'm going to be looking to take profits. Okay, we want to buy low, sell high. And while we're holding, while all things are low, we can earn APY. And you can see, just look at the monthly chart of Cetus, guys. It's right back down at that support where it opened up. I mean, it's right back down at the bottom. So I feel really good about this trade right now. And I feel really good about staking. I've never really I think I made a couple videos on this, but I haven't gone full in depth because I don't really mess around with the liquidity pools all that much. I have in the past, but I just think this looks like way too good of an opportunity to pass up. I mean, you got Cetus setting up here and you got SUI setting up here. So why not get a piece of the pie here? If we believe SUI is going to grow over time and it's going to bring in institutional money, that means their ecosystem is going to grow. And it is up there with one of the most popular blockchains on the market right now. So let's go ahead and do this. So Cetus SUI. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit deposit. And one thing I really like about SUI is that they allow you to zap in. So there's these different measures here that we could take. Okay, and let's see here. I haven't really messed around with this a whole lot, but I'm just going to click on active. Okay, I'm going to click on active here. And what that's going to do is that is going to provide me a understanding of how much I'm going to make, APR. Okay, so you got 14% here. If you click on conservative, 8.6%. I don't really care. As of right now, what I think is the dealio here is the fact that it's let's see here. So they're going to give me $14,000 worth of SUI, and they're going to do $10,000 worth of $10,000 worth of SUI, so about $6,000 of that. And then the other $14,000 that I have worth of SUI is going to be converted automatically into Cetus. So the Cetus position is actually going to be heavier, and I'm actually okay with that because I think there's a lot more meat on the bone. Like if Cetus absolutely explodes here, okay, and goes back to, like I said, 20 cents, that's a 10x. SUI, I don't think, it could 10x here. It could go to $10, $16, but I think the chances of Cetus going to a $250 million market cap are going to be higher than SUI. So for SUI to 10x here, it has to go to a $60 billion market cap. $60 billion is a lot of money, right? $60 billion is the market cap of around USDC right now. So that's pretty high. So the chance of a 10x on SUI are very slim. I mean, I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm not saying it's very slim either. I just said that, but it's actually it's doable, right? Ethereum's a $377 billion market cap. If Ethereum can get to 377, SUI can get to 60. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I want to put most of the exposure in Cetus just because I like their website, I like their project. They did have a hack a while back, but they overcame it, right? People have kind of forgotten about it, so on and so forth. So I like doing this. So I'm going to hit the active here. So that's going to put 38% of my position, right? 38% of my 24,000, which equates to around 10,000, so 6,000 SUI, and then the other percentage of the portfolio is going to go towards cetus. So you can see the expected amounts is it's a 58% position on cetus, and 41% of it's going to SUI. I'm cool with that. Okay, so let's go ahead and just zap in here. So again, I'm going to get this into my wallet here. I'm going to zap in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add liquidity. So I'm hitting add liquidity. I'm going to confirm this. Network fee. Okay, so I have to do a little bit less SUI because it has to pay the network fee. So I'm going to go 14900. Okay, so same thing. You have to leave some in your wallet. I hit max. When you do that, you need to have SUI in your wallet in order to pay the network fee for making this transaction. So I'm going to hit add liquidity here. That's going to pop up. I'm going to hit confirm. I probably need more. Yeah. I wish it would tell you how much the liquidity fee would be. Okay, let's go 800. Okay, zap it in. Add liquidity. Couldn't fetch the network fee. Interesting. Okay, let's try doing a smaller amount here. Let's do 5,000 at a time. How's that? Okay, we're gonna zap in. We're gonna hit add liquidity. Come on, Johnny. Do it for the camera. Do it for the gram. Okay, let me refresh. I'm going to try doing a smaller amount here. So I'm going to zap in. I'm going to use all the SUI that I have, and it's automatically going to convert it to the liquidity pool. So again, I'm going to do 5,000 SUI. We'll start with a smaller amount. I'm going to hit that. I'm going to go ahead and click add liquidity. And that should pop this up. And I just did this before the video. I think it's funny how every time I try to do this on camera, like I literally just did it before I before I made this video. So let me see if I can maybe, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I literally just did this before I created the video. So bear with me here. I'm not sure why this is being like this. It literally just worked for me. Let's try 1,000. Try zapping in with 1,000. Add liquidity. There we go. It's letting me do 1,000. So for some reason, see, now that is in there. So now what I could do is I can go to my position here and I could see that this is an active position. I have $1,600 in there. That's 33,000 cetus and 411 SUI. And you can see I'm earning this right now. You can see I've already earned a little bit of cetus down there where it says claimable rewards. So I just would hit claim all, and then that would go back into my wallet. That cetus that I've earned would go back into my decentralized wallet. So I can just set this and forget this, right? And then when I get my sell signals here on the chart, that is when I can come in here, and what I could do is I can take it out, right? I hit remove, okay? And then I'll just hit max, and then I'll just hit remove. And then what that does, I'm not going to do this right now, but I can hit remove, and what that's going to do is it's going to take the cetus, it's going to take the SUI, and what it's going to do is it's going to put it back into my wallet, and then I'll be able to sell it or do whatever I want with it. So that's how you do it. I'm gonna do the rest. I'm gonna stake the rest of this here. I'm not gonna do it on camera because obviously it's having some trouble with whatever. I guess I'll try it one more time and see. If it'll let me do it. If not, that's it for this video. But that's how you stake in liquidity pools. That's how you do it, folks. So if you guys got questions, feel free to drop a comment. And I'm happy. I read every single YouTube comment and so on and so forth. So if you guys have questions, like I said, hit me up down in the comment section or hit me up over here inside of the support chat. I'm here to help you guys. Again, this channel is not about me. It's not about you. It's about all of us working together and praising the Lord. So with that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next one. God bless you. Peace.